So while I'm out here trying to get a little bit of a breather, looks like PulseChain's actually out there in China. So we did get the Shanghai update. It is signed, sealed, delivered, locked and loaded. It's already on chain. Everyone's really excited about that. For those that aren't aware, the Shanghai update is what allows validators to actually remove their deposited funds. So up until this update on E2.0 and on the previous versions of PulseChain, they weren't able to actually remove that deposited fund. So validators were essentially locked in. So this is interesting. I wasn't 100% sure they were going to do this at launch, not because they couldn't technically get the update through, but because it does change some of the economics and some of the participation we might see with validators. And so again, when you see it at launch, it's interesting to see, okay, do we want to see participants come in, be locked in, and see how that affects some of the economics? So that's what they did on E2.0 versus, hey, we're launching, now it's there. Do we just let it roll? So it's interesting to see that they went through with it. I think it's probably the right decision for sure. Again, we're gonna trust those guys to be right. So that update is there. Again, I had a few people actually DM me. We're kind of worried about there being a delay. It's already done. It's on chain. It's rocking. So very, very happy to see that. It's cool stuff. Nice to see that progress. The validators also have higher participation now on V4 than they did on V3. Now, some of that is probably because of the APY change, APR, a little bit of incentive increase there. I think mostly it's from a lot of the good work the community is doing. RH Max, Gamma, obviously, big hitters. Federer, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of extra work to help get all the individuals up on validators. And that's huge. One, you just love to see that kind of community participation, getting everything dialed in together. But that's what we want. So it's very helpful to have a large amount of validators, but it's really helpful to have a large amount of validators spread out, being ran individually, not just being hosted on cloud servers and things like that. So that adds a different level of decentralization, and especially when they're outside of the US, that also gives you some jurisdictional, some legality kind of obfuscation there as well. So all that's really, really good to see. It doesn't seem like there's really much left other than just seasoning at this point. They did go through, they had to change the gas estimation. So sometimes if you look, like RPC nodes aren't as good at actually guessing that as what you'd see with like oracles. So there were some failed transactions. We had the same thing on V3. Brett and all that team polished that up. They did the same thing on V4. Looking good. So we are probably in a, again, you'll see some of the community, a lot of people are getting up in arms. I don't know that anyone knows the date, but we're in that, hey, there's no warnings. It's coming when it's coming. So guys, it's looking great. We'll be up on testnet very, very soon ourselves. Again, there's a great video here from the man, the myth, the legend, Crypto Crazy. He goes over some of the really cool stuff that we have that shows we go far beyond just being a basic fork, why our timetables are a little different. It has nothing to do with not being ready. It's about going through a lot of this ancillary tech. It doesn't mean that our DApp and front end, things like that aren't ready to go. So we have a ton coming, so definitely give that one a watch. PulseChain's looking really, really clean. You can see everybody in the community starting to get really excited. People outside the community starting to really take notice. It was a blast speaking about it at Consensus as well, representing the community, showing people just how much value there is. You can see some of the guys talking about it, Wes and KG, a lot of people that were with us just talking about how heavy we were and what a deep crew we were running with. So it's really enjoyable. I will definitely be taking a bit of a breather, been doing a lot of travel and a lot of extra stuff in the background. So again, everybody give me some time with DMs. But as far as PulseChain, we're here, Shanghai update. There's not much left. We couldn't be more excited. My team is chomping at the bit to get our stuff public. We can't wait to share the rest of that with you guys, and y'all get at me, share, like, subscribe, emotional outburst, whatever it is, get at us. We're happy to help. We love y'all.